It is October 30th, 2024, and it's 70 degrees again. The weather up here cannot make up its mind. Back on my days off from work, so it's time to ride again. Took off from my house, probably about a 3-minute ride, and we're gonna do double A today. So double A is definitely one of the older, if not like one of the original trails out here. It is still quite a bit of wilderness as far as what's around it. Knock on wood, it hasn't been logged, and hopefully won't be. That's what makes it kind of cool, is that it is in the middle of the woods, big rocks per usual. Woo! The first part of this is pretty whooped out here, but it slows down pretty quick once you get in the woods. Deer have been using it. So I think maybe 2018, 2019 is when I rebuilt my moto bike and started riding more. And one of the first trails I remember doing is double A. I came out here to ride with a couple of my buddies, and where we usually park at staging, we ran into a group of people from Escanaba, which actually turned out to be Tyler Johnson and Jason Dix and a bunch of people that I now know a lot better through this. And they said they were gonna go ride double A. Well, the two guys that I was with were like, oh yeah, sure, let's go. You know, they're not really dirt bikers by any stretch of the imagination. But when I heard double A from my moto stuff, I was like, well, A is fast. Where's the trail? A means good riders. So double A probably means whole heap of stuff that I'm not ready for. And it was a day where it was kind of like keep up or get out. Like they didn't ditch us by any means, but there was a lot of stuff that if I wasn't with people and trying to keep up, I wouldn't have rode. So this is like the first big rock on the trail. One that when we first got to it again, my first time riding it, I looked at this and I said, I don't think I can make it up that. Nice and easy now. Believe it or not, this trail has actually been used in some national enduros. I can't imagine coming through here at full race pace. Oh man, hit a rock. Got bounced off my line. There we go. I don't ride it a ton, but it definitely is one of my favorite trails out here. I think a lot of it has to do with what I said with it, you know, not being logged in here. You actually feel like you're riding a trail in the woods. keep hitting all these pockets of like warm and cold air. It's got to be like a 15-degree, maybe not that drastic, but 10-degree difference between all of it. It's pretty crazy. Weather has no clue what it wants to do this fall. Let's hit the big roots. All right, next big rock. A few ways up this one. We'll go this way first. Turn around. Try another line. Let's try that steep one. I've actually never gone up that. Holy cow. I didn't realize how straight up that was. We are in a predicament. Well, clearly that first attempt didn't work. I don't really want to be a quitter, but I'm also kind of terrified of this thing now. Wow, that was sketchy. Let's not do that again. Carrying on. Let's go this way. This trail really is like the perfect mix of kind of flowy, fun trail, and technical stuff. There's enough rocks and roots to keep you interested, but enough flow where you're not like tired out the whole time. Pretty steep downhill. This next section of rock can be a little tricky because there's almost like a step up that you have to clear. So you need speed. So we'll take this little out route. Get some speed. Made it up. If you don't make it up, you wind up falling backwards. Not so much fun. But if you don't want to risk stuff like that, basically all these big rocks have ride-arounds. So if you are out here and you decide that you're not feeling that ambitious or risky, you can just take the out loop and miss it. Then we get back into some flowier stuff for a little bit, which is pretty typical for sands plain stuff. Like I said before, it's just islands of rocks. You just kind of traverse back and forth between them, up and down them. Another rock. Haven't ridden this in a while. I forget where some of these go after. Like this one, completely missed the trail. Kind of loop around. Or wait. No. I'm lost. Stand by. Okay, that's what it is. It turns right. Got it. Little tricky section. Ooh, big rock. Man, this is fun. If only I had friends to share it with. Interesting, interesting. Alright, next there's kind of like this little valley or gorge that you kind of have to bounce your way through. I'm definitely not feet on the pegs for this. Woo! Nick Noddle and I once talked about building a ramp from one side to the other to jump it, which would be fun, would also be very sketchy. A lot of deer blinds in here. A turn that I think often gets missed. Okay, this spot's also tricky. You can take that way and go around, or you can shoot up this gap, which I don't know, man. I feel like we might have to shoot the gap. Let's get lined up. All right, we're all lined up. Let's see how it goes. Woo! It's easier than I think every time. Definitely can play head games with you. I'm trying to remember which one of these. There's just a giant drop off on the back. It's gonna be a guessing game. Unless it's this one. Yep, that's the one. Okay, I want to turn around and actually hit this. Okay, let's actually hit this thing now. Woo! I mean, it's only like 2 feet, but you definitely don't want to just nose off it because you will go over the bars. A little trip to Indonesia, as they call it. Whew. Is this the trail? Yeah. Bit of a guessing game through there. Oh, another drop. Now we're getting to the part that is usually wet. It might not be now just because we haven't had a ton of rain this fall, but usually there's some pockets of water out here. But this is a fun place to play around here on the power line because, as you can see, there are a lot of rocks and they are pretty smooth, which makes it fun. You gotta get creative with it and ride around. This is the driest I've ever seen this. We have another uphill coming here. Nothing rocky, but it's washed out, kind of ate up. I don't think it'll be that bad though. No, not at all. Some more downhill. The end of the trail is pretty used up. There's one spot at the very end that is like shroud deep from the washouts and erosion and whatnot. Nice view of the water. Looks ducky. I see a wood duck in there. Shout out to my duck hunters. That would be Michael and Seth. I guess Takla to some degree. All people who have not been featured on the channel, so you guys have no idea who I'm talking about. That's fine. Oh, wow. That was a hard hit on that stump. Starting to get into those big washouts. Here we go. It's like you're in a tunnel. The trail used to cross and keep going, but I don't think anybody's ridden that in probably 10 years. So, more or less, that's double A. Fun trail, very technical. Nothing that's like stupid hard, and there's nothing that you can't go around or find a route around. But lots of fun nonetheless. One of my favorites. So, if you like this kind of stuff, like, subscribe, comment, stick around. Plenty more to come. Thanks for riding with me, guys.